What's going on, guys? My name is Abdi and we are back with another video, and today I want to talk about rose fragrances in particular. So rose is a note that most people associate with women's fragrances, but oddly enough in the Middle East actually rose is more of a men's note than a women's note, or in general a very unisex type of note. Because over there they wear rose just like we wear bergamot, for example, which is a very universal note, you could say. It's found in women's fragrances, it's found in men's fragrances, it's found in unisex fragrances, so it doesn't matter for them. And therefore you will often find men's fragrances with rose in them. So in today's list we have 5 rose fragrances that I want to talk about, and then we have a 6th one, which is an honorable mention because it actually doesn't have rose in it. Not officially, at least. It's like a flanker to a fragrance that has rose in it. I won't make an order by best or worst or longest lasting or whatever. I will just pick them randomly and just talk about them. So the first one, I've talked about this one recently. This is Ambre Nuit by Christian Dior. And Ambre Nuit, as I've said in the past, it's an amber fragrance. This is rose actually done to perfection. This is, for my personal taste, the perfect amount of rose. So the notes in here are pretty straightforward. It's damask rose, which is a very soft but still very prominent rose at the same time. Then we have pink pepper in here, which is also detectable. And in the top we have bergamot and I think grapefruit, or bergamot or grapefruit, or even both, I'm not sure. And then we have guaiac and cedarwood in the base, patchouli and ambergris. So that's the note breakdown. So this fragrance is mixed to the point where all of the notes are detectable, but only slightly. So it's citrusy and sweet, it's ambery and rose-like. Still, the fragrance is very, very potent. So you have a lot of good projection, good sillage, good longevity with this. So I've said it in the past, and I will keep saying it until there's a Dior fragrance that blows every other Dior fragrance out of the water, because this is what this one actually does. This is the best Dior fragrance on the market, and I will stick to that opinion until there's a new Dior fragrance that's even better than this one. It's a very pleasant fragrance, it's easy on the nose, and it's one of those fragrances that when you smell it in the air, you just ask yourself, who's wearing this fragrance? I can only recommend this. You have to check this out, Ambre Nuit by Christian Dior. Okay guys, so the second one on the list is Lamar by Kajal. And this fragrance has got some traction in the West. So essentially what this fragrance is the product of all the Baccarat and Herba Pura craze that's been going on through the last couple of years, because you had this mix of like this fresh but sweet Baccarat thing mixed with the musky fruitiness from Herba Pura or stuff like Kirke, and even fragrances like Ambassador have added to this. And this is a byproduct of all of that, because this fragrance is also kind of fresh, still has some of this Baccarat resemblance in there. In the end, it all boils down to it being a sweet, fruity fragrance. That DNA, but then in a very oriental way. This smells very niche, very detectable note of lychee in here. It starts floral and kind of feminine in my opinion, but then quickly goes into the very, very unisex, or actually even masculine leaning woody style. And that's what I love about this fragrance. For my personal taste, this might be a little bit too feminine, but I could see men wearing this because the rose in here is very nicely done. This is a gorgeous fragrance. I can only recommend this. It's kind of expensive, but the longevity is very good. The projection is strong. So as most rose fragrances, because rose is a very detectable note. Very good one, Lamar by Kajal. Okay guys, next one. This is one I've already talked about as well. And this is Viking by Crete. And this is the least rose-like smell, or the least rose-heavy one on the list. So we have lemon, orange and bergamot in here. We have peppermint in here, pink pepper in here. So yeah, very fresh nuances, and that's what it mainly is, a fresh green fragrance, but then with sweet and spicy nuances as well. The base notes are basically just sweetness, muskiness and woodiness through vetiver and cedarwood, and then tonka bean and musk. I've talked about this one, not much to say, but there is a rose in here and it is detectable. And if you want to wear something with rose or get into rose, this is a good fragrance. If you want to smell a little bit of rose but still be more of on the masculine side of things, Viking is the way to go. So the longevity and sillage on this one is fine. Actually the sillage is pretty good and the projection as well, but the longevity is Kind of a bit weak for the price, but still it's good for a Creed fragrance, you could say, because as you should know, Creed fragrances are not very known for being all that long lasting. I love this fragrance, it smells super natural and just like most Creeds do. It's one of my favorite Creed fragrances actually. This is in my top 3 Creed fragrances. So yeah, that was Viking by Creed, and it's the 3rd one on the list. Very good fragrance. Okay, 4th one on the list, guys, and this will be Toy Boy by Moschino. And Toy Boy is yet again a very controversial fragrance because actually some people hate it. And this fragrance is controversial because if you would compare the reputation of this with anything, it would probably be Fahrenheit. So the reason a lot of people don't like this is probably the combination of notes in here. Of course, rose. The rose is very prominent, but in a very non-sweet way. So no sweetness in here. It almost smells a little bitter, you could say. And then you have stuff like pink pepper, which is of course peppery. There's clove in here, so as you can tell, it's kind of spicy. And clove is a note that some people associate with the smell of sweat, especially when it's mixed with citrusy stuff like bergamot or grapefruit. And of course we have bergamot in here, and that is the reason some people don't like this. I think this is a very niche smelling fragrance for a designer, especially in this price bracket. You should at least give this a go and try to see if you like it. Very, very unique. And if you like uniqueness, if you like rose, if you don't like sweetness, this could be something for you. Longevity and sillage are fine. It's kind of in the middle ground for both projection and longevity. Yeah, that was Moschino's Toy Boy. The last one on the actual rose fragrances list is one of my favorite rose fragrances ever. Of course, along Ambre Nuit, which is Imitation Man by Amouage. So some people say it smells of fruit candy. What it actually is a leather fragrance. This is a very heavy leather in the base, but then a powdery iris, just like we know it from Dior Homme. A lot of rose and earthiness and woodiness in here. It's an oriental fragrance. The notes in here are oriental. It smells oriental. It's very Amouage-like. And as you know, I love Amouage fragrances, and this is right up my alley, especially since I love to wear rose fragrances that don't smell too feminine. So projection is kind of weak on this one, but the longevity is great. And this is an all occasion fragrance actually. You can wear this whenever you want and like. I could see this be worn in winter. I could see this be worn in summer. I love Imitation Man. I think you should give this a go. At least try and smell this. And also the presentation is absolutely beautiful, I think. So yeah, Imitation Man by Amouage is the last one on this list, or on the official list, because there's one more fragrance I want to talk about. And this is Madavi 40 Years Gold Edition. And this is not officially on the list, even though it absolutely would be if there was rose in there. I always thought there's rose in there, but actually there's no rose in there. The combination of notes in this one made to a point where it almost resembles rose. The reason I thought that there's rose in here is because the mix of the notes in here and also the fragrances that this one resembles. And the feminine or the prior version of this have rose in there. So longevity and sillage absolutely off the charts. This lasts for like 2 days. And when I spray this, I only spray like 3 to 4 sprays because it's so potent and strong. This is a beautiful fragrance. There is, as I said, no rose officially in there, but it resembles this rose type of thing. There's jasmine in here, so there is florals in there. It is floral. It's very oriental. You have a lot of fruits in there, like red berries and pineapple. And then we have black pepper and cardamom. So yeah, spicy, oriental, woody, but very much unisex. Can be worn by women, but I prefer this on myself. And yeah, Madavi 40 Years Gold Edition, had to talk about it. And this is the last one on the list. Check this out if you can. It's very expensive, but it definitely is worth it in my opinion. And that was the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Let me know what you think about this video. And then I hope to see you in the next one. And I wish everyone a good day.